So Anne, it started with you, I think, with going to the training. Did you both go to the training, or was it just with you?
We did both go to the training, yes. One of our neighbours had arranged for a defibrillator to be put in the local village hall, and she arranged for various people living near us to go and attend the training session. So we did go to that. That was not very long at all before I had my cardiac arrest. So it was quite good timing, really.
Yeah.
It was very good timing. It was in the May, and David fell ill or collapsed in July.
Tell me about how you felt at the time, Anne. How did you?
Me?
Yeah.
When David collapsed?
Yeah.
I was lucky in that I sort of recognised it. I don't know. He hadn't been feeling well the previous 24 hours, and he looked pale. And although he was doing everything normally but slower, and it was harder work for him, and then he collapsed. And as I said in my email to you, we were lucky. My son-in-law and daughter-in-law were there, and daughter, sorry. And when David collapsed, my son-in-law thought he was having a fit. So his breathing had gone peculiar, very strange. And we were just having a cup of tea, and that was rocking. And then that sort of went, the tea went, and then David did look like he was having a fit. And then his breathing had gone very strange.
Yeah.
And haphazard. And because of the training, I just thought, no, let's get him on the floor, which I was lucky. James, my son-in-law, did that. Sarah, our daughter, phoned 999. She got a 15-day-old baby at the time. That's why we were there. You can't really write this story.
Yeah.
We were there taking David's 96-year-old dad at the time to visit his great-grandson. Anyway, we were all in the room. They get him on the floor, the phone 999, and in my head I kept hearing the trainer saying, doing nothing isn't an option. And so I started CPR, which is jolly hard work and jolly fast. And I know you do it in training, but when you actually do it for real and your husband, it's another layer, well, 2 or 3 different layers. But and then help started to come. It was 25 minutes before the ambulance got there. They tried to send out a helicopter from Taunton, but there was thunder in the forecast, so they couldn't bring that.
Is it one of those little villages in Somerset, totally in the middle of nowhere, down the little tiny roads?
Yes, it is. And I by the time the ambulance was, I could hear the ambulance 20 minutes later, 20 odd minutes later. And by that time, we got the retired midwife in, who was brilliant. We're still in contact with her because we don't live in the village. And she saved David's life well, it's a joint thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite hard work, I think, to do CPR for that length of time.
Yeah, it's an amazing length of time, that is. So
I think
well done.
More, you couldn't do it, just one person, but it helped to have several people around who, could sort of chip in and do what was necessary.
Yeah. Did you go in the ambulance with him, or did you?
I did. I went in the ambulance, but in the front, because it was a lady ambulance driver and there was a male ambulance man, paramedic, that's it. And he was in the back, and I could hear them struggling, but they gave David 4 shocks on our daughter's floor, and he came round on the 4th one. They then put him in the ambulance, and they had to give him another 4 with a defibrillator in the back of the ambulance, and I could hear them struggling with him, and by which time he was saying something strange. I can't remember what. And the traffic was bad because it was late afternoon, but they got him there, and fortunately it was a Monday and the consultant was there. It was about 5:30, I think, when we got to the hospital, and I think the heart consultant being there, I was just glad it didn't happen at the weekend.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I mean, there's so much that went right for us that day.
Should add, I was out of it all this time, so
Yes,
I
completely.
have no recollection of any of this going on. I was in the hospital in Taunton for about 6 weeks, because I was in intensive care for quite a long time, almost a week, I think, and they put me in an induced coma for quite a while, which I didn't come out of as quickly as I should have done. So after that, they put me in a neurological ward because they were mainly concerned about the effects of brain damage due to a lack of oxygen to the brain. And I had all sorts of occupational therapy type work to try and get my brain up and working again. They would give me a picture of a farmyard and then take it away and tell me to remember what I'd seen on it, things like that. I remember being taken off to a kitchen somewhere to see if I could make some toast and put some marmalade on the toast, just simple tasks. So that was the main thing that I had. And they were going to take me to a rehabilitation centre afterwards, but it was obviously very busy. There weren't very many places available. And in the end, they decided that I didn't really need it. So they just sent me home. I don't think you had any trauma counselling, did you?
We were part of a research group into heart, I suppose it was heart attacks and cardiac arrests. And so we had a nurse that would come and listen. And then I've got quite a lot of good friends and who put up with me retelling the story. So I did it through talk with my friends and walking with I'm part of Farnham Ramblers, well, we both are. And I walked with them and they've listened to the story many times. And that's how I did it, was talk. Yeah. Talk it out.
At the time, I was trustee of Farnham Maltings, which is our local cultural hub. They do theatre and music and films, stuff like that. So I was in charge of the finances, or overseeing the finances there, because I used to be an accountant. So this cardiac arrest happened right in the middle of my 3-year stint, and I did go back afterwards.
Yeah.
But after the 3 years was up, I finished it. I felt that I had other things I would rather spend my time doing. Not least of which, by that time, we were having more grandchildren, so we wanted to spend more time with our grandchildren, really.
How many have you got now?
5.
5.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm a primary school teacher. They go 5. The key for me is doing nothing isn't an option. And I remember the ambulance driver telling me that we don't get to many patients and houses where they were doing what you were doing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I did it. I'm not special, I did it because I knew what to do, and because I had people around me. I'd still having somebody to do the 999. I know on the training you've got to do that, but I had someone else to do that, and I had someone else to just support, really, and to go and get help.
Yeah.
I don't know if the statistics are still the same, but we were told at the time only about 10% of people with out of hospital cardiac arrests will survive. And of course, those that do survive often have, brain injuries or other physical injuries which they don't really recover from. So I think we were lucky in that respect. I'm still not 100% sure if I could use a defibrillator.
You can, yeah. They talk you through the new ones we've got in the new communities now have got a video on the actual defib. So it literally, even if you can't read, you can see the video of how to attach the pads. You can see them shaving it, you can see everything you need to do on this video, and it talks you through it, and it's got written. So even if you're deaf, you can, so everybody can understand how to do it, and it won't shock somebody that doesn't need shocking. So you can't get it wrong.
I think that's another message is, don't do nothing. Doing nothing isn't an option. You can't get it wrong. Just do something.
Just do something.
I think it is quite a sort of shocking event, isn't it, for most people? And a lot of people, I think, would just freeze, not really know what to do, feel a bit hopeless and helpless, and trying to encourage people to actually do something, do something positive.
COVID has caused massive problems as well, because people are then fearful of being near somebody. We're not recommending breaths anymore. Just compressions is enough. And
that's something I took. Sorry, that's something I took away from the training as well, because I thought I can't do breaths as well. It's too complicated because your brain, somebody close. Well, I don't mind kissing him, but I don't, and that was going okay. I could tell something, so I didn't bother with the breaths, and I've taken that away from the training.
Yeah.
Don't do nothing. Doing nothing isn't an option. You can't get it wrong. Just do something.
Just do something.